Good evening. A warm welcome to our distinguished guests and Innovate friends. Thank you so much for your presence here at the 48th installation ceremony of the Innovate Club of Cartier. Almost all the Innovate clubs in India have or will be conducting their first ever virtual installation this month. The start of something new brings the hope of something great. The pandemic is here to stay. So let's trust in the magic of new beginnings. I am Pushpa Koshi, your MC for the evening. Kindly put your devices on the mute mode so that the meeting can be conducted without much disturbance. And those present here, please put your phones on the silent mode. Thank you. I request President Sonia George to call the meeting to order. As always, before we begin our meeting, we would like to invoke the blessings and the presence of the Almighty in our midst. I request past President Dr. Lata Jacob to render the prayer song.
ലോകം മുഴുവൻ സുഖം പകരാനായി സ്നേഹദീപം നീ തുറക്കൂ. ലോകം മുഴുവൻ സുഖം പകരാനായി സ്നേഹദീപം നീ തുറക്കൂ. കദന നിവാരണ കാട്ടിൻ നടുവിൽ വഴിതെളിക്കൂ. ലോകം മുഴുവൻ സുഖം പകരാനായി സ്നേഹദീപമേ നീ തുറക്കൂ. പരീക്ഷണത്തിൻ വാൾമുനയിൽ പടനിലത്തിൽ വീഴുമ്പോൾ ഹൃദയ ക്ഷതിയാൽ രക്തം ചിന്തി മിഴിനീർത്തുഴയിൽ താഴുമ്പോൾ താങ്ങായി തണലായി ദിവ്യൗഷധിയാൽ നാഥ കരം പിടിക്കൂ. ലോകം മുഴുവൻ സുഖം പകരാനായി സ്നേഹദീപമേ നീ തുറക്കൂ. പുല്ലിൽ പൂവിൽ പുഴവിൽ കിളിയിൽ വന്യജീവിയിൽ വനചരണിൽ ജീവബിന്ദുവിൽ അമൃതം തൂകിയ ലോകപാലക ജഗദീശ ആനന്ദത്തിൻ അരുണകിരണമായി അന്ധകാരമിൽ അവതരിക്കൂ. ലോകം മുഴുവൻ സുഖം പകരാനായി സ്നേഹദീപമേ നീ തുറക്കൂ.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Dr. Lata. That was beautiful. Thank you, Dr. Lata. The invocation prayer will now be read by past President Deepa Abraham.
Instill in us, O Lord, the true meaning of friendship. Never let us forget that we are all thy children, notwithstanding the differences in our culture and creeds. Endow us with a desire to serve our fellow men, remembering that we too often need help. Whenever or wherever the need for service arises, help us to be ready to serve, endeavoring to make our badge of Innoville worthwhile, ensuring that we have not lived in vain.
Now I invite President Sonia George to welcome this august gathering.
Good evening to all. We have come to the end of the Innoville year and start of a new one. I have great pleasure in welcoming you all to this function. As we face the coronavirus pandemic, we were forced to cancel and join together in a combined meeting. It's my privilege to welcome Dr. Usha Titus, IAS, has been kind enough to adorn the chair as chief guest in spite of her busy schedule. And we feel blessed. Our district chairman has spared her valuable time for us. I welcome you, ma'am, to this meeting. I welcome our young and charming vice chairman, Cinda Joji, to this installation. Nothing is complete without the presence of our Rotary President, Rotarian Suzanne Koshi, who has obliged to our invitation and is present to be soon on with us. I welcome Suzanne. Mrs. Vimla Abraham needs no formal welcome to her own family, and Mrs. Pushpa Koshi, our district ISO, has been kind enough to find time to be with us in the meeting. I welcome you both with fondest love to this installation ceremony. And now the incoming President Dani and her new team of office bearers. Warm welcome to you all. I welcome my team members and all others who took time to be present here. Welcome everyone.
Thank you, President Sonia, for that warm welcome. Our Innoville District 321 District Chairman, Mrs. Annapurni Odiyappan, is our guest of honor for the evening. At her request, we have preponed her address as she has to attend another installation meet later this evening. Past President, Mrs. Deepa Abraham, will now introduce our guest of honor.
I have great pleasure in introducing our district chairman, Mrs. Annapurni Odiyappan. Mrs. Annapurni Odiyappan was born to Mr. Annamalai and Mrs. Meenakshi. She did her schooling at St. Joseph's, Trichy, and pursued her higher education at Avanashalingam College, Coimbatore, with a distinction in BA Economics. She joined the prestigious Innoville organization as a member of the Innoville Club of Tiruchirappalli in the year 2001. She served as the club secretary of the club in the year 2002 and was appreciated for her promptness. As the club president in the year 2005-2006, her main focus being on the welfare of children, she succeeded in performing 17 bone deformity surgeries to fix minor deformities and make them normal in life. She entered the district in the year 2009 as the district editor, and with the surplus funds from the souvenir collection, proceeds was able to construct 2 classrooms at Krishna Old Age Home, Tiruvallari, in the name of Innoville District 321. Holding the district editor's post for the second time in the year 2015-2016, she brought about the e-souvenir as an attempt to bring down the cost of printing. As the district ISO, she conducted the multi-district rally Bandhan. As the district treasurer in the following year, she procured the PAN for the district. As the district secretary in the year 2018-2019, the presentation of the minutes was well applauded by the association president for the perfect presentation and being very much in line with the bylaws. At present, she holds the post of district vice chairman. She has attended at present she holds the post of district chairman. She has attended 2 triennial conferences at Kolkata and Pune, South Asian Rally at Malaysia, 17th International Innoville Convention at Melbourne, and represented as the voting delegate. Married to late Rotarian PHF Odiyappan, she is blessed with a son and a daughter. Her son, Ganapati Odiyappan, is a young entrepreneur married to Archana and blessed with grandsons Uday and Balu. Her daughter Soundaram works as a fashion stylist and nutrition consultant and married to Venkatachalam, a senior consultant at Deloitte, settled in Canada. As an entrepreneur, she runs a restaurant. She also loves taking care of children and has a keen interest in child psychology. Her newfound fascination is touring places far and wide to explore new countries and understand different cultures and traditions. She owes her achievements to her family's constant support, especially her late husband Odiappan, who was and is always a big source of strength guiding her footsteps. Being positive at all situations and giving her 100% hard work has been her mantra always.
Thank you, Past President Deepa. District Chairman, Mrs. Annapurni Odiappan, kindly address the gathering, please.
Thank you, Deepa, for those lovely words of introduction. Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me? Is it audible? Yes, okay. Thank you, Deepa. That was a wonderful introduction. President Sonia George, the incoming President Dani Sara Philippos, Chief Guest of the Day, Dr. Usha Titus, IPS, Secretary Arnold Joseph, and incoming Secretary Maya Cherian, District Executive Committee members. I could see Cinda here. Some of them will be attending soon. Past Association President and past International Innovate Board Director, Vimla Ma'am, past District Chairman, Zonal Advisors, Club CCC, Project Coordinators, and my dear Innovate friends and guests. A pleasant evening to all of you. So I dreamt of another situation when I will be there at Kottayam. It was for my assembly, but now I'm meeting you all in a different occasion here as on the installation of your club. Is it audible? Is it audible? Is it audible? Yes, yes. So I'm meeting all of you on another situation here. I wanted to have the assembly there at Kottayam, and Vimla ma'am said immediately getting all the permission of all of you with the consent, we were all getting ready to be there. But this unexpected challenge and situation has brought us on the video now. Anyway, I'm happy to be here addressing all of you. So as the Inner Wheel revolves every year, it's a great celebration for us when we celebrate the success of a leader who gains knowledge and experience and passes it on to a successor with much relief. And the successor takes up the mantle with much hesitance, but by the end of the year, we can be sure that the Inner Wheel will groom her and bring her in a better position, and that is the change which Inner Wheel creates. My hearty congratulations to Sonia and team for discharging the dedicated service to the society, and my congratulations to the new team of Dani Sara, who are all set to put in their best and keep the flag flying high. Inner Wheel stands as a testament for meaningful friendship and purposeful services. The wheel is always in motion with the new themes and goals. Our Inner Wheel theme for the year is Lead the Change, a very apt theme for the current situation. Life has thrown a lot of challenges, which we have to face with courage and positivity and turn every challenge as an opportunity to success. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. And it is in these times that reveal the true mettle of a person. We will accept the situation, adapt the circumstances, and adopt the best practices to lead the change. We will emerge from these testing times stronger and more positive, spreading hope and goodwill. In our organization, friendship and service goes hand in hand. A glass of water has no value on its own, but the moment it quenches the thirst of an exhausted person, it turns more valuable than gold. Be a glass of water and quench the thirst of others. A glass of water doesn't need any fancy introduction to be hailed important. It doesn't need pomp and celebrity to be seen as significant. It doesn't need any fancy attire to appear appealing. All it needs is to be there for the thirsty. As Mahatma Gandhi quoted, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Take this opportunity to create a safe environment for our future generation. Serve the needy as much as you can. Brighten yourself and spread joy and positivity around you. Dear friends, make Innerwheel young, strong, and a fun-filled organization. Make it young, adopting and adapting yourself to new technology. Make it strong, rendering memorable projects which will always stay strong and bring a difference in the lives of others. And a fun-filled organization, enjoy each other's company, and this will pave way to service. Change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or present are certain to miss the future. Always, old ways will not open new doors. Lead the change and bring about hope everywhere. Thank you for this opportunity to be here. And when you have Vimla ma'am as a walking encyclopedia of our Innerwheel district and the Innerwheel as whole, you have no worries to. You can go ahead doing whatever you have with the best you can. And this is the most challenging time which we are facing. Even before this year could start, we are faced with so much of difficulties, thinking how we could run about these meetings. But now when I go to each club, now since it is a virtual meeting, we are getting guests from outside districts too. And when we go to each club, there is much of a difference in each, the way they conduct the installation. I'm awestruck with all their efforts to do it. Because here I see the podium is there, and then the live sort of installation is also going on with the table and all the setup there. And here Pushpa keeps moving from one system to another, and everybody comes to the podium. And that podium feel really gives us a very good support where we can keep and read or whatever we can present to the thing. But now we are getting adapted to these changes. So I wish everyone, all of you, a very successful year ahead. You can be safe at home, be healthy at home, and do as much as you can. And now it is the time that so much of service is needed to the community. And so we have to find some other way to reach out to them. So I think all of you will do. So those, even when it takes a little bit of time, I think we can surely do with it. So thank you so much. Since I have another installation, I'm just leaving for the other installation. Thank you so much for this. Yes, thank you, Pushpa.
Innerwheel Club of Kottayam, we thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring address and for gracing this occasion with your presence. A warm welcome to Mrs. Usha Titus, our chief guest for the evening. Next, the annual report of the club will now be presented by Secretary Dr. Anju Joseph. This report will portray all the signature projects and activities of the club for 2019-20. Over to Secretary Dr. Anju. Please pay attention to the PowerPoint presentation, which will be shown simultaneously.
Good evening. The annual report of 2019-20 of Innerwheel Club of Kottayam. The year started off with the installation ceremony of the new president Sonia George and team held at Rotary Center. On Thursday, 8 July 2019 at 4:30 p.m. International Innerwheel Pass Code Director Vimla Abraham was the chief guest for the function. Number of executive meetings held 10. General body meetings held 10. They were hosted by members Serena John, Maya Cherian, Talitha Abraham, Kuku Abraham, Ajita Roni, and Renuka Rajesh. Onam meeting was at Rotary Hall. Christmas meeting at Kalida Abraham's house, and picnic at Cherry Sinde Kumbalani Resort. Official visit of our Innerville District Chairman, Lakshmi Vardhini, was on October 14, 2019. The association's national meet, South Zone Meet Mysore, Intercity Meeting and Rally, District Assembly, Triennial Conference, and District Conference were attended by our members. Politically by our members was well appreciated. Several members of our club held important positions in the district and national level. International Innerville Past Board Director Bimla Abraham was co-opted as a member of the Association of Innerville Clubs in India. Pushpa Koshi was the district editor for the year 2019-20. She is inducted as the district ISO at the District Assembly through Zoom meeting on 23rd May 2020. 2 issues of Spoke News were published during this year by our editor, Mariam Mani Mati. Our members, Ramni Koshi, Shanti Aib, Lois Gurula, Tani Philippos, and Sonia George won several prizes in district, inter-district, and national level competitions. Donations. From members, we received rupees 89,375 for Vayanakalli, flood relief, and adoption of child. A new FD for rupees 16,000 is started with SBI as Innerville or Orphan Fund. From raffles, rupees 1,67,000 collected. Payments, charity, rupees 1,89,274. Jayalakshmi, rupees 2,500 is given monthly, already paid rupees 25,000. Floods, rupees 23,800 for Kottayam and Kannur. New Mill and Pagal Vida, rupees 50,000. Adopted Village Karil, rupees 1,78,560. Our projects. Our major project this year was the donation of 18 chairs to the railway station, cupboards with necessary items for no bystander patients to Medical College Kottayam. As part of branding, Innerville logos were also kept there. As part of Mamta Mission, activity of the Association of an Orphan was sponsored. 8 orphanages were visited. We interacted with inmates and provided them with essentials requested. Honored and recognized persons who dedicated their lives for inmates' care. Painting and slogan competitions also were conducted in schools and prizes awarded. In our adopted Karil village, Kumragam, we provided financial help for medical needs, for marriage, house renovation, Onam celebrations, and provided provisions. Innerville made arrangements for online classes for Karil children in the Innerville Community Hall by providing angina, chairs, and whiteboard. As part of environmental program, tree saplings were given to 2 schools and Independence Day flag with marigold seeds embedded were given. Flood relief works were also done for Kannur and Kottayam district. Cancer detection camp in YWCA, drug awareness camp, and breastfeeding awareness camps were conducted. Our member, Dr. Marine Punyan, helped and conducted awareness camps. Noon meal and Vayanakalli library shelves and blackboards were given by Innerville for schools. Conducted Polio Plus camp with Rotary Club of Kottayam and distributed 80 lunch packets to doctors and health workers. Continued with projects Jaya Enrollment Fund for the care of a girl child and no meal projects at Kanikudi LP School. Even during COVID pandemic, we provided masks for health workers. International Innerville Day was celebrated. I would like to place on record the ultimate support given to me by all the members of our club. Thanks to each of you for your love and affection. I also thank the executive committee members for their guidance, and especially Bimla Kushma and Lois Kushma for helping me. Last but not the least, a special thanks to our president, Sonia, for the wonderful time we had. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Anju, for that report. As you all heard, our club has done extremely well last year. The hard work and commitment of the president and the team gets better and better each year. For her presidential address, I invite Mrs. Sonia George.
Respected chief guest, invited guests, and fellow members. Now, as I step down from my post of president of Innovate Club of Kotte, I turn back to the year gone by. As the saying goes, one color cannot create a rainbow. It was only with the wholehearted support of my team of office bearers that it could play a decisive role in their community. Mrs. Vimla Abraham, my aunt, has always been a backbone to the club. Anytime, any day, she was approachable. She has been ever ready with her advice of helping support physically and emotionally. Thank you, Vimlandi, for helping me to stand up in all situations. I go short of words when I speak of my secretary Anju. In spite of her busy profession, she found time for me at all times. A perfect model of an efficient secretary. Thank you, Anju. Our Renu Rajesh has always carried out her post as treasurer with all perfection. So good with collection of funds and accounting. I am deeply indebted to you, Renu. There has not been Remini Koshi as ISO did a wonderful job. No words are enough to praise her for her tremendous effort and the encouragement she gave to the participants. We bagged many prizes. Thank you, Remini. Nothing is complete without the Spoke News. Our editor Miriam Mani brought out our magazines beautifully well, brimming with pictures, articles, and informative news. They were colorfully presented. Thank you. The invaluable support of our district editor Pushpa Kushi needs special mention. I am grateful and congratulate her being elected as the district ISO, a post which she no doubt deserves. We were able to collect an amount of 1,62,000, mostly from our members by selling raffle tickets. We could do various projects which totaled up to an amount of 1,68,000. This year, the projects done were adoption of Kareel village, adoption of an orphan boy as part of Mamta Mission projects, donation of 18 chairs to Kottayam railway station, donation of cupboards to Medical College Hospital Kottayam, and donation of 5,000 per month for noon meal scheme to Meenadam Higher Secondary School. We are able to look back and know that we do not stand by doing nothing. As a team, we took action to help the needy. We had to make tough decisions in our inner wheel journey due to COVID-19 pandemic, cancellation of club meetings and district conference after all the planning and effort put into it. We place the good and welfare of the public first. I look back on the path we have traveled so far. The last part was different. We found new ways to make lives of others better, to move forward together and to continue to grow. I will always treasure memories of this shared journey. The pandemic has changed our lives and the way we do service. I should thank all the members for the selfless contributions, helping to reach relief in terms of sanitizer, masks, etc. across the town. This was mainly due to the selfless effort of our incoming President Dani. During this terrible pandemic, we could prove that our motto "Together we can" is the more than mere words. Leisurees lost their charm and cheer. Let us overcome the virus together. And now, Dani and the new team, I congratulate you as you step up to your post as President of Innovate Club of Kottayam. You as Vice President is born here has always been great support to me. Face the year ahead with hope, calmly remain undisturbed. Let everything be bright and may you have a peaceful and blessed year with your team. May you, with your colorful team, spread the radiance of hope all around. Thank you. We have a few members who had 100% attendance. Now, as I call out your names, all those who are present here, please come forward to collect a small gift. Novice Kurvala. Elsie Jacob, Rajini Paul, Prabha Abraham, Sarama Joy, Sheila Koku, Remini Koshi, and Saraswati.
Congratulations, President Sonia, for a job well done and for the selfless service that you and your team have done. Congratulations, friends, again, for the attendance. If we attend more meetings next year as well, regularly. For the introduction of the incoming president, Mrs. Douglas Sarah Bose, I call upon Mrs. Elizabeth Abraham to join us. Rita, over to you.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Okay. From when I was young, my parents had inculcated in me to address the seniors in my family as Chechi, Achachan, etc. Being one of the youngest in my family, that meant calling almost all in the family by a title, never by name. But Dani was the only senior person, just by a few months, I could call by name, she being my niece. Dani and I literally grew up together. There were holidays spent together. We never thought we would land up in the same town of Kottayam and in the same Innovale club. Dani, as a member of the Innovale, is known by all of you. Her dedication to Innovale is unquestionable. Her zeal in doing social work is known to all of us. She, with her family, was immersed in social work during the recent flood. They had no concern for their own health, but went totally into the affected areas spreading relief. The floods were just one occasion when Dani proved her penchant for social service. On every occasion when called upon, Dani has proved herself in being in the forefront of service to society. Dani is the daughter of Matthew C. Varghese and Malsi of Cheruboth family in Vaikam. She has a brother, retired commander, C.M. Varghese. She did her schooling in Kotagiri Public School and Christova Mahilalayam and went on to graduate from St. Teresa's. She took her post-graduation in mathematics from BCM College and computer application from IHRDA. Throughout her period of education, she has excelled in her class. A happy person, always with a smile on her face. Dani was always popular wherever she was. Of the Teketalakal family, she has two highly talented daughters, Dr. Rebecca and Hannah, who is a software engineer working with Bank of America. Philippochan and her daughters, Becca and Litty, have been the focal point of her life, and they have complemented her in every step in social work. At the end of every year in Innovale, the question arises, is the club being left in safe hands? This year, it is especially so, with the head of COVID awaiting to strike all and sundry, where a president does not know what is going to happen tomorrow. And I'm proud and happy to say there is no safer hands to leave Innovale than the safe hands of Dani. All the best, Dani and team. God bless you. Thank you.
We'll have the lighting of the lamp now. We request Chief Guest, Mrs. Usha Titus, along with the new President and the outgoing President, to please light the lamp. Install President, Mrs. Dani Sara Philippus, we eagerly await your acceptance speech.
Honorable Chief Guest, Mrs. Usha Titus, Guest of Honor, District Chairman, Mrs. Annapurni Odepan, past Association President and past International Innerwheel Board Director, Mrs. Vimla Abraham, District Vice Chairman, Mrs. Cinda Sakres Georgie, District ISO, Mrs. Pushpa Koshi, immediate past President, Mrs. Sonia George, dignitaries on the dais, my dear friends and family, a warm good evening to all. It's a matter of pride to be the president of this prestigious club. It's with mixed feelings that I stand here today, proud yet humbled by your trust in me, happy yet pensive about the responsibilities that's to be fulfilled. It's a great opportunity of service. I pray to Almighty for His guidance, as always. First, let me congratulate Sonia and her team for a very successful and fruitful year. A year that we all now look back for its memorable moments. The experience and wisdom of Sonia and all our past presidents will guide me in carrying forward the torch. A few months back, we were planning the installation with our members, with all our members together, having a great time. Nothing can match the happiness in seeing you all in person. But due to the current unpredictable situations, we have to act practically and responsibly. It's during such testing times that we know the true value of friendship. Our members, especially our board members, joined together in giving tremendous support, true to the Innerwheel spirit. That gave me much confidence, and I'm more energized by everyone's enthusiasm for the upcoming year. The support and guidance given by Mrs. Vimla Abraham at every step I took was of great value. It was a great learning experience as well. I can't express enough how grateful I am. Mrs. Louise Kurula, Mrs. Pushpa Koshi, and our senior members are always strong pillars of support. Truly privileged to be working alongside and learning from such brilliant and remarkable women. My to-be secretary, Mrs. Maya Charian, is a very capable and dedicated person who is always ready with unlimited assistance in every project that we shoulder. I consider myself fortunate to have her as the secretary of the club. The team of office bearers for the year 2020 is a group of very energetic and dynamic personalities. Their dedication towards the club has been proven over the years, and together with their experience, I'm sure we'll be able to accomplish a lot this year. It amazed me that it took less than a day to form this team, and this enthusiasm from the team elated me and vitalized my vision for this year. I'm blessed to have this group of members as the team for 2021. Our chief guest, our dear friend, Dr. Usha Titus, came all the way from Trivandrum, sparing precious time from her busy schedule. Usha is Philpo's batchmate from CMC Vellore. Their batch, known as BOSS, short for Batch of 78, is known for their exemplary friendship and exceptional personalities. I'm fortunate to be part of this enigmatic group and to have got to know her. Usha is the pride of BOSS, and so for us. I'm so happy that she's here with us today. This is a unique year for Innerwheel. The International Innerwheel President, Mrs. Beena Vyas, is from India. She has given us an apt theme for this year, and that is Lead the Change. In addition to that, India will be hosting the International Innerwheel Convention this year in Jaipur in March 2021. It is a matter of pride for the Innerwheel Club of Kottayam that Mrs. Pushpa Koshi is the district ISO. Last year, Pushpa was the district editor, and she did a superb job with her innovative ideas for redefining the souvenir. Joining forces with the district chairman, Annapurni Odepan, and district vice chairman, Mrs. Cinda Sakres Georgie, I'm certain that their team at the district will be very successful, and we look up to them for giving us dynamic guidance. Our world is changing, with new norms being set. Innerwheel will be there in the forefront, giving assistance to our community in its path to a better new world. Association President Mrs. Vasudha Chandrachud has given us her goals, which come under the acronym HOPE. It covers almost everything the world needs right now. For H, we have health and hygiene, O for old people and orphans, P for patriotism, and E for environment. Under this, we have already started some need of their projects. All these would be continued throughout this year, as and when the need arises. Furthermore, projects under Mamta Mission, medical camps, and supply of essential products for the underprivileged and for the community as a whole will continue. A positive statement or action propels hope towards a better future. Hope builds up your faith and it promotes change. True to that, let's all together join hands to pioneer the change and spread hope in these pandemic times. And I assure we will be successful in ushering in a new world. Thank you. Now Pushpa will introduce the office bearers.
Thank you, President Dani. And we as club members look forward to working with you with hope as a team to lead the change. As I call out the President's new team of office bearers for 2021, those who are present, kindly step forward and accept your pin from the President. Vice President, meticulous, modest, and loads of fun, Mrs. Miriam Mani Matthew. Immediate past President, sincere but shy, Mrs. Sonia George. Secretary, super efficient and motivator, Mrs. Maya Terry. Joint Secretary, simple yet savvy, Mrs. Sharon Sadi. Treasurer, responsible and obedient, Mrs. Sweetie Brown. Dedicated and dependable, Mrs. Past President Mrs. Deepa Abraham. ISO, Deepa's the ISO. Editor, articulate and accommodated, Dr. Andrew Joseph. Club Constitution and Prudential Committee Chairman, past President Mrs. Harina Rajka. The Board of Directors, Mrs. Prema Matthew, practical, pretty, and perfect. Past President Mrs. Renu Jacob, refined and ravishing. Mrs. Louis Kubler, logical, level-headed, and loving. Past President Susan Barber, sensible, past President Mrs. Pamela Abraham, past President Mrs. Rajni Paul, genuine and enthusiastic, and last but not the least, our advisor, past International Innovation Board Director, Mrs. Vimla Abraham, vivacious, vibrant, and versatile. Thank you, President Dani. To formally introduce and welcome our distinguished chief guest of the evening, Mrs. Usha Titus, I invite past International Innovation Board Director, Mrs. Vimla Abraham, to do the honors.
Immediate President Dani Philippos, immediate past President Sonia, and all the newly elected members of the Innovate Board of Kottayam, and friends. We are indeed very fortunate to have Dr. Usha Titus, IAS, as a chief guest this evening. It is with pleasure I would like to introduce her to you. I'm sure all present here would have heard of her, read about her, or at least seen her on television. Now I present a brief biodata of Mrs. Usha Titus. Dr. Usha Titus had a brilliant academic record, having been a state rank holder like her two sisters in SSLC and pre-degree. She had been an avid quizzer and debater while in school. She went on to graduate from CMC Vellore and did her MD in General Medicine from Trivandrum Medical College. She entered the Indian Administrative Service in 1993, having bagged the first rank amongst women in the country. She was allotted her home cadre, Kerala. She served as district collector of two large districts, Kozhikode and Palakkad. In both districts, she was the first woman to be posted as district collector. Outside the state, she has served as registrar, IIT Madras, where she was instrumental in facilitating the liberal arts program and improving the health infrastructure. On return as Secretary Medical Education, she laid the foundation of the Medical University and took the historic decision to ban private practice of Faculty of Medical Colleges. As Secretary Social Welfare, she improved the infrastructure of Anganwadis and juvenile justice institutions. As Joint Secretary in the Ministry of Finance, Government of India, she represented India for 5 years in meetings of G20, BRICS, and SAARC. And thus, she had a hand in the development of the BRICS New Development Bank and the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. Since 2017, she has been Principal Secretary Higher Education in the state, guiding universities to stick to the academic calendars, take up innovative courses, and abide by the UGC regulations. One of her achievements has been the establishment of additional skill acquisition centers in colleges to equip them with skills and make them market ready. Since 2019, she holds the charge of environment as well. And in fact, under Dr. Usha Titus' leadership, an expert team has prepared pamphlets to be distributed to all families by health volunteers and Kudumbashree mission representatives to create awareness among the public about do's and don'ts in time of COVID-19. Dr. Usha's husband, Dr. Titus P. Koshi, retired from the Railway Board after 35 years of service in the Indian Railway Traffic Service. They have a daughter, Amrita Titus, who joined the Indian Customs and Central Exercise Service and is currently serving as a Deputy Commissioner, GST in Goa. Well, actually, I just received a biodata today, going through it, and I just can't say, you can't expect anything more. It is with the greatest pleasure I present before you our chief guest for this evening, Dr. Usha Titus IAS, a versatile personality who has been outstanding in every walk of life she has traversed. From medicine to administrative service, a shining star among women, Dr. Usha Titus IAS.
Have you in our midst, Mrs. Usha Titus. Thank you, Mrs. Vimla Abraham, for that lovely introduction. Chief guest, Mrs. Usha Titus, we eagerly await your address.
President of the Innovate Club of Kottayam, Ms. Hani Philippus, previous past president, Srimati Sonia, previous and present office bearers of Innovate Club, Thank you very much, Thani, for inviting me to be part of your special day. My dear cousin, talented musician as she is, Lata is also here, being a past president herself. It is indeed a pleasure to be with all of you. Thani, we are proud of you. You are taking over the reins of a club that is nearing 100 years of its existence, in the sense that it is part of that international INNOWHEEL, where there's more than 1 lakh members in over 102 countries, and is recognized with as one of the largest women's organizations with consultative status in the United Nations. I understand that the objectives of the International INNOWHEEL are 3. A, to promote friendships. I'm here as a testament to that. 2, to encourage the ideals of personal service. And 3, to foster international understanding. As people have spoken before me, it is indeed tough to take over the reins of an institution at this time. It is tough because this virus is making lives uncertain, unpredictable. Today it is triple lockdown in Trivandrum. Tomorrow it may be in Kottayam. So all your well laid out action plans may go haywire. I'm a believer, yet for the first time, I've started prefacing my sentences with God willing. God willing, I'll attend your function tomorrow. God willing, I'll be in office on Monday. This small particle with a diameter of 60 to 140 nanometers has brought change like none other. To stay at home with family, perhaps pleasant for some, but extremely unpleasant for a large number of women. To transact business without traveling, to learn without a structured classroom, things are changing. Our father of the nation said, be the change that you want to be, want to see in the world. And today you are asked to lead the change. The future has indeed changed. The people who succeed are those who are creative, who will be creative, who will be curious, resilient, and innovative to adapt to the fast-changing environment. And therefore, creativity becomes the most important leadership skill. As a report that was submitted in the World Economic Forum said, 60% of children who join class 1 today will have to do jobs that do not exist today. Thani, your experience, your academic background, your open mind will definitely help you to adapt, to change, and lead the change. You're following the footsteps of Margaret Golding, who was encouraged by her husband, a Rotarian, to start the INNOWHEEL International, a club for women. And Thani, you have a husband who believes in service, with his right hand, keeping his left hand ignorant of it. Through your NGO and your activities at Being Humane, you have demonstrated service. And the official status of this club enables you to widen your opportunities of service even further. Danny, you have listed a series of activities under hope. Let me just add a few things which would help you achieve all that you aspire to do with your team. One, do not let the organization die with you. There are some who like to think, after me, the deluge. But you should make this organization stronger, attract more members, and make the lives of the ladies of Inner Wheel Club Kottayam richer. Now, how do you do it? You speak out, you reach out. We all have stories. That's what life is all about. Our childhoods, our families, our joys, our sorrows. We go through the years amassing all this material, which we craft into our personal narratives that make up our inner lives. The importance of storytelling is epic. Homer knew it, Shakespeare knew it, the cave dwellers knew it. They depicted stories in pictures, and even the nomads knew it. Today, corporations know it. So, whether it's United Airlines, whether it's Microsoft, they have storytellers in their staff. Marketing and advertisement executives know the importance of weaving stories into their narrative. Every member of the Inner Wheel Club, every Rotarian has a story. Why you joined, why you continue to be in the Inner Wheel Club, what your involvement is, how your friends have added to your service, your life, it's all there. So why tell the story? Because it gives outsiders a chance to learn about what Inner Wheel Club means to you. Because you can raise funds more effectively when you tell a powerful story about what you are going to use the funds for. And a good story enables you to strengthen the bonds with other members of the Inner Wheel Club and deepen your club's sense of involvement with the community. The Inner Wheel Club has definitely touched your lifetime, and that's why you are here with confidence and a little trepidation to lead. It has definitely enabled you perhaps to travel to places that are fascinating. It has enabled you to open the world, change somebody else's world. If so, speak about it and bring people to this Inner Wheel Club. 2, be true to your calling as a member of the Inner Wheel Club. George Attlee was a missionary in Central Africa. One day he was found dead. His body was found near a stream, and by his side was his fully loaded 10-chambered Winchester rifle. The tribesmen who killed him later confessed to the crime. They said they had laid in wait for him and then surrounded him. But what surprised them, was that he did not fire at them. And while they were getting closer to him, an arrow from behind came flying and killed him. As the tribesmen surrounded George Attlee, he had 2 choices. A, to shoot at them. But if he had done that, all that he had tried to do in the past years, to preach about God's love, would have been in vain. And B, he had the choice to shoot at them. But in the process, he had the choice to appeal to them. But in the process, he could lose his life. George Attlee chose the second option and was killed. He did not shoot at those who wanted to kill him. What would have been behind such a decision? Not what would happen to him, but what testimony he would leave for his Lord. So be like George Attlee. As long as you are the president, every action of yours, whether it is for the Inner Wheel Club or at home, think of the testimony you will leave behind. Yes, it is much like living in a glass house. We are used to it, or we are supposed to be always conscious of it. But some amongst us choose to ignore at their own peril, and so you have one of them who is filling the headlines today. 3, strive for excellence in everything that you do. How many of us know that the Constitution of India exhorts each one of us to strive for excellence? Article 51AJ, subsection J, calls on every citizen of this country to strive towards excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activity, so that the nation as a whole constantly rises to higher levels of endeavor and achievement. I am part of the government that takes up a lot of activities in public interest. However, you know how many of them turn out. There are potholes on the road, there are cracks in the buildings, bridges collapse, clearances take time and money, examinations are delayed, results declarations gets delayed. We all need a streak of excellence. We all do. The Renaissance period, starting from the 15th century, is deemed to be the glorious period of art, as students of history know. The painters at that time are said to have inscribed their works with the Latin phrase, coram Deo. The meaning of this Latin phrase, coram Deo, is in the presence of God, or it is loosely translated as for the glory of God. In the Bible, in the first epistle of Paul to the Corinthians, chapter 10, he says, whether you eat or drink, whatever you do all for the glory of God. The essence of life is coram Deo. To live one's entire life under the authority of God, in the presence of God, for the glory of God. You may also state it, if you are an atheist, for the glory of the country, for the glory of the society. So Dhani, in everything, and your team, in everything you do, may all your activities be inscribed with coram Deo, for the glory of God, and then it will be perfect. 4, stand up for truth. These are the days of fake news and scandals. A heady mix of pride, power, gold, and women are just, paralyzing the government today. So almost a repetition of what happened about 4 years ago when a government was brought down, and how people let some good people down. Mr. Edmund G. Ross became a Republican senator in 1866 in US at the young age of 40 years. The party therefore had very high hopes in it. Andrew Johnson the Democrat, was then the American president. 1866 was the time when the southern states had been defeated in the Civil War. Andrew Johnson wanted to continue the policy of reconciliation and peace with the southern states, a policy which had been started by his predecessor, Abraham Lincoln. But the radical Republicans wanted to check this move of the president. They were aware that the president wanted to remove the then Secretary of War, Edwin Stanton, who did not like the negotiations towards peace. So, in the US Congress, a Tenure of Office Act was passed. According to this act, the president cannot change an officer or an official without the consent of the Congress. But Andrew Johnson was determined to pursue his goal of peace. So he changed the officer. This angered the Republican Party, and in 1868, impeachment proceedings against the president started. At that time, Ross, the Republican senator, issued a statement. The statement stunned the party because the statement said, the president deserves as fair a trial as any other man, any other accused man. Following this statement, Ross got a lot of hate mails. He was abused by his party colleagues. The seniors in the party warned him. The day of voting came. The gallery was full. In the Senate, 36 votes were needed to pronounce the president as guilty. Ross was the last to cast his vote. In the voting process that existed at that time, the Chief Justice asked him, Mr. Senator Ross, is the respondent, Mr. Andrew Johnson, guilty as charged? Later on, Mr. Ross said, that moment I saw my open grave. My position, my friends, the respect that others have for me, everything that an ambitious man desired, I knew would be lost if I spoke the wrong thing. Ross opened his mouth and unmistakably and unhesitatingly said, not guilty. Based on that vote by the Republican senator, the impeachment proceedings against the Democrat president, Andrew Johnson, fell through. After this, all his friends abandoned him. His family was isolated. In the subsequent elections in 1870, Ross lost. His political career came to dust, and the open grave became a reality. But truth can never be buried. 20 years later, the very same US Congress hailed him as a hero who averted a crisis. The press also joined, and he became governor of New Mexico. In 1868, Andrew Johnson had a Republican senator, opposition senator, Edmund Ross, to stand up for truth. As a leader of the Inner Wheel Club, you should similarly place your footprint, honey, in the sands of time. You should inquire after the truth and stand up for it. 5, be humble. Put others first. If there is one quality that stands out amongst people, when you think of people, it is humility. Christianity has the largest number of followers in the world. If there is one figure, character in the world that stands out for humility, it is Jesus Christ. Born in a stable, lectured from borrowed boats, rode on a donkey, again borrowed, crucified, and buried in a borrowed grave. But he has influenced more people than anyone else in the history of this world. What did Jesus say? Learn from me, his humility, his grace. Pride blinds us, it corrupts us, whether it is in public service or in smaller organizations. There is a beautiful ancient story that many of us may have heard of. A man who was an expert in archery once came to a town square, put up his target board, and started shooting arrows at the target. One after the other, he hit the bullseye. Everybody who saw him applauded. But one elderly man who was standing there shook his head and mumbled, "Just a matter of practice, just a matter of practice." The archer heard him. He was a little upset because he wanted only admiration. So he took out another arrow, and this time too, he hit the target. Everyone applauded. But this elderly man again said, "Just a matter of practice." The archer couldn't take it anymore. So he went up to the man and asked him, "What do you mean? Can you do what I can?" So, well, the old man said, "Well, no, I can't do what you can. But let me show you something." He was a seller of oil. He took a bottle with a long neck, small tube, and a large vessel with oil. And then he poured the oil down the tube into the bottle, and not a drop of oil fell outside. He then turned and asked our expert, "Can you do it?" So the archer said, "No, I can't do it. I have not practiced it." The question that is relevant to us is, what do we practice? Whatever we practice, good or bad, we become experts at it. If we practice breaking locks, we become an expert at it. If we practice arrogance, we become extremely good at it. If we practice joy, we will bring joy. If we practice humility, we will be honored for humility. And if we practice coram Deo, we will bring glory to ourselves and to God. Through the dreams and the goals you set for the year, this Inner Wheel Club should become unique. And you should have a lot of stories to share. Stories of giving and sharing and loving, both joys and sorrows. Many of us would like to go through life in a blaze of glory. It is something like putting our hands into our bag, drawing out a 2,000 buck note, putting it on the table and saying, "Here, I have placed all of it." But the reality is that we are expected to go through life, first taking that 2,000 rupees and cashing it for 5s and 10s, and then going through life, putting out a rupee 5 here, a rupee 10 there, in the form of little acts of kindness. And these little acts of kindness, 5 rupee at a time, spreads joy, makes bonds, and leads to change. May God bless you, Dhani, and your team achieve all that you set out to. May you be able to carry your team with you. And may you inspire young women to follow you and join you, this great organization after. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam, for your beautiful message and words of encouragement, which I'm sure will benefit Dani and all of us. We'll have the presentation of the mementos. President Dani will now present a memento to our chief guest as a token of her appreciation for her presence at our installation meet. Next, she will hand over the memento to the President, Mrs. Sonia George. Thank you. This Innoveel year to 2021 has begun with a lot of enthusiasm. We will shortly be inducting 2 new members into our fold. As you are being introduced, kindly come forward so as to be inducted. Mrs. Ruby Joseph is married to Mr. Sunil Joseph, and according to her, behind every successful man there's a good woman, and she's definitely that woman. Her current role is that of a wife, mother, and grandma. She's a good Samaritan and extremely blessed with a loving family, which includes a better half, and they live here in Kangara, Kottayam. They are blessed with 2 sons and their wives and 3 lovely grandchildren who stay on the shores far away across the oceans. They have been living abroad in Hong Kong, Southeast Asia, and the United Kingdom for a better part of the past 4 decades. She has traveled far and wide, seen many places, met many people, and is continuously inflamed by her passion for food. Through this passion, she's experienced many unique and traditional cuisines, and it has given her the insights into their different cultures, traits, and personalities. She's developed a repertoire of culinary activities that span food, art, and styling, to artisan baking, to the extent that she's also published a book, Food for the Global Nomad, several years ago. Now Ruby and her husband are back to their roots, and their goal is to create a good and interesting life here, and she hopes that it will be like a long vacation. Ruby, I'm sure it will be just that. Next, we have Dr. K. Rajalakshmi. She's a consultant ENT surgeon. She was born and brought up in Coimbatore. Schooling and her MBBS was also at Coimbatore. She did her post-graduation from the Kilpauk Medical College in Chennai. She's the wife of Dr. P. Sukumaran, a pulmonologist, former HOD of the Medical College in Kottayam. They have 2 daughters, married, and they are living in Australia and Germany. She has varied interests. She's game for all activities. That's what we like, and subject to time. She's a former JSRIT chairman in Etmanur. She's the executive member of the AOI training chairperson for the past 3 years. That's the Association of Laryngologists in India, if I pronounced that right. And she's also the women's, the WDW wing of the IMA Kottayam, the training chairperson for the past 3 years. Currently, she's the WDW chairperson in Kottayam and the mid-zone convener. With this brief introduction, I present to you both these ladies to the Innoveel Club of Kottayam. Please step forward. Fast introduction. Now induct 2 members into our Innoveel Club.
You've been invited to become a member of this Innoveel Club because we are sure you will welcome the responsibilities of friendship and service that membership brings with it. We believe that you will enjoy being a member of our truly international organization and take a full and active part in all the activities of this club. We do hope that you feel that you're among friends and enjoy in participating in this Innovate Club. As you know, and as already mentioned, our motto is friendship and service. Friendship comes first and service next. So I request all members to welcome them with a big applause. And it is the greatest pleasure. I'd like to pin them, give the Innovate pin of friendship. And then the red rose is the official flower of Innovate, rose of friendship, which I will be giving for this. One more applause, please.
Thank you, Mrs. Linda Abraham. And a warm namaste to our two new members. Our first formal project inauguration, that is the construction of a house, will be launched today. Board Director Mrs. Louis Kurvilla will accept a check for rupees 30,000 from the chief guest. Ma'am, I request you to please hand over the check.
Today, I have the pleasure of reading out the gist of greetings received from various officials. Let me start with Dr. Beena Vyas, International Innovate President, who emphasized the importance of the need to lead the change in our thinking, attitude, working, interpersonal relation, communication, and publicizing our brand Innovate. She also urges us to lead the change collectively to bring about positive, significant, and meaningful difference in the world. Vasudha Chandrachud, our association president, wants us to focus on the theme hope and wants Innovate to be the symbol of hope. District Chairman Annapurni Odayappan opined that lead the change is a very apt theme in present circumstances. She reckons the willingness of change can lead to success and happiness. Past District Chairman Lakshmi Jayawardene sends her appreciation to outgoing President Sonia George and her team, and greetings to new President Dani Sara Filipos and her team. Past Association Secretary Mrs. Deena Rajasingh also said the value and importance of lead the change. District Vice Chairman Sinda Joji conveyed her best wishes. District Secretary Surya Prabha Rajshekharan wishes a successful installation and a meaningful year ahead. Then our sister clubs across District 321 send best wishes to the new president and her team for the year of 2021. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Maya, for the best wishes and encouraging messages and greetings received. Time for felicitations for the dynamic outgoing and incoming team. First, I invite the President of the Rotary Club of Kottayam, Mrs. Suzanne Koshi, to felicitate.
Good evening. Am I audible? I hope I'm audible. Hello, am I audible? Yeah. Good evening. Newly installed Inner Wheel President Dani Philippos, Chief Guest Mrs. Usha Titus, Indian Administrative Service, Guest of Honor Mrs. Annapurni Odayappan, District Chairperson, Inner Wheel District 321, Mrs. Wimla Abraham, Past Presidents Association of Inner Wheel Clubs India, inner dignitaries on and off the desk, Secretary Mrs. Maya Joseph Cherian, Treasurer Mrs. Rajesh, and dear members of Inner Wheel Club of Kottayam. As they say, there are no strangers in Inner Wheel, just friends you have yet to meet. Kudos to past President Mrs. Anju Joseph, Secretary Mrs. Sonia George, and their team on a successful year. Dani, as I know her, is energetic, cheery, and enthusiastic. A lady with many strengths who can skillfully steer this eminent club to greater heights. Maya is a warm, gentle, and multi-talented soul who will be a guiding and support light, a perfect match for this critical post. I know this is a commitment that has to come from within, and this team definitely is geared to take up the mantle and come out brilliantly. Passion and dedication are the two key strengths that will see you through in good stead. Rotary Club of Kottayam is proud to have had associations with both of these young ladies, as they are supportive Rotarians as well. As the incoming president of Rotary Club of Kottayam 2020-21, we look forward to providing humanitarian service to advance goodwill and peace around the globe, more so in these challenging times. Let us join hands to unite, act, and be a harbinger of service, warmth, and peace in our communities and within ourselves. Rotary Club of Kottayam joins me in wishing you, Dani Sara Philippos, and your team a meaningful and fulfilling year ahead, God willing. Thank you.
Next, thank you, Rotary President, Mrs. Suzanne Koshi. Next, we'll have Mrs. Mangalam Raju, the President of the Inner Wheel Club of Vagathanam. I invite you for your felicitations. Are you there, Mangalam? Okay, so we'll just go to the next one. Mrs. Jenny Deji, she's the President of the Inner Wheel Club of Kottayam North, will now felicitate. Jenny, you can go ahead. Can you hear us? Jenny Deji, yes.
Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. Greetings to all the Inner Wheel members. I'm Jenny John from Kottayam North. Congratulations to all the outgoing team of Mrs. Sonia George and her team for the wonderful service and the projects they have done last year. On behalf of the Inner Wheel Club of Kottayam North, I wish to convey our heartiest congratulations to the newly elected President, Mrs. Dani Sara Philippos, and her team for a fabulous, fruitful, and memorable year ahead. Thank you.
Jenny, for your felicitations. Mrs. Mangalam Raju, are you online? Okay, maybe she'll come later. Sindra, are you there? Our district vice chairman? Okay. So these words of wisdom and sincere encouragement will definitely inspire and motivate President Dani and her team all through this challenging year. Thank you all. We've come to the end of our one-of-a-kind virtual installation meeting, but not without the official vote of thanks by Vice President, Mrs. Miriam Mani Matthew.
Good evening, everybody. We hope you've had a nice evening. I consider it a privilege to be proposing the vote of thanks on this auspicious occasion. We have eased out the old team and introduced the new team for 2020-21. A heartfelt thanks to our guest of honor, Mrs. Annapurni Odayappan, for choosing to be with us on Zoom. We are honored. We look forward to your help and guidance in the new year with your varied accomplishments. A very special thank you to our chief guest, Dr. Usha Titus, IAS, who spared time from her busy schedule to grace this occasion in these very challenging times. You gave us a very inspiring speech, a brilliant speech, I can say. We were totally full rapt attention with all those very good guidelines and noble truths you have given to the club. Very, very impressive, and with all those very good, interesting examples, you had our total attention. I don't know how long you spoke, but I think we were just, we didn't have a minute to get bored. The valuable information and guidelines you have given us will hopefully stand us in good stead. On behalf of our club, I wish to thank Sonia George, our last year's president, for her perseverance and initiative throughout last year. Her efficiency and attention to detail stood us in good stead throughout the year. She was a good team leader and pulled everyone together in her own quiet way. We welcome our very motivated President, Dani Philippos, and team, and wish them all the best in the new year. We have already seen Dani's willingness to go above and beyond in this short time of her leadership and to take on the completion of tasks beyond her comfort zone. Dani has hit the ground running with the new logo of Innerwheel, Lead the Change. The melodious rendering of the prayer song by past President Dr. Lata Jacob gave a solemnity to the occasion. Thank you, Lata. Thank you, Deepa, our new ISO and past president, for the invocation. We have Dr. Anju Joseph, our new editor, to thank for the detailed annual report. A big thank you to our quiet, unassuming Litha Abraham for introducing our incoming President Dani, and Vimla for installing her. Many thanks to Pushpa Koshi, last year's district editor, and this year's district ISO for introducing our guest of honor. A very esteemed member with many credentials, Vimla Abraham, thank you for introducing our chief guest. Once again, thanks to Pushpa for introducing our new members and Vimla for installing them. Maya Cherian, our new secretary, thank you for presenting all the greetings from all our well-wishers. Arranging this function today was a hurdle in itself with all the technological requirements. It has required a lot of planning, for which the wheels started rolling weeks ago. All efforts, both individual and collective, are deeply appreciated. Special thanks are due to Hannah Philippos, who has been the backbone of this function, seeing to all the technical arrangements. A big thank you to Dr. Philippos and Rebecca for venue support. Sincere thanks to our President Dani for hosting this event in her beautiful traditional home. Our gratitude to Omnapol caterers who have a delightful spread for us, I'm sure. In any given occasion, there will always be people who exerted a lot of effort for its success. At the same time, people who gather for the event, this time many on Zoom, are very much a big part of its success. I wish to thank the President Kottayam North, Jenny Reggie, for their felicitations. We thank you all for being with us this evening. It has really been a great pleasure. Thank you very much. Our two new members, hope you had a nice evening. We welcome you into our midst and wish you a lot of activity. A big thank you to Rotary President Suzanne Koshi for her felicitations. Last but not least, our sincere gratitude to Pushpa Koshi for her superb anchoring. Her clear diction and faultless delivery left little to be desired. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice President Miriam Matthew. Friends, with this we come to the end of the 48th institutional meeting of the Innerweal Club of Kottayam for the year 2021. On behalf of the President and all the members, I'd like to once again thank each and every one of our eminent guests and friends for gracing this occasion. Hope you all enjoyed the evening as much as we did putting it together. Continue to be safe, stay at home, and break the chain. We have the national anthem. The meeting will be adjourned by President Dani Sara. Meeting is
അവിടെ പോണോ? What about the mic? Okay, laptop. It's unmuted. Okay. ഹായ്, ഇവിടെ കേൾക്കാമോ? ഓക്കെ, അവര് നമ്മളെ കേട്ടോണ്ടിരിക്കുക. സുസംഘർഷ്മ, ലിത, കേട്ടു എല്ലാം. ലിത ഗാലറി വ്യൂ ആക്കാം. നമ്മൾ പറയുന്നത് കേൾക്കാം. ജോസി ആൻറ്റി, രമണികൃഷ്ണ, ഷീല, how are you? അവര് പറയുന്ന കേൾക്കാൻ പറ്റത്തില്ല അല്ലേ? ഇതിന്റെ ഓഡിയോ ഓൺ ആക്കാം. അൺമ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്തു. സാരമില്ല, ഇനിയിപ്പോ എല്ലാവരും വാതിലൊക്കെ തുറന്നു. ഓർച്ചയൊക്കെ സോണിയ വാതിലൊക്കെ തുറന്നേക്കാം. എല്ലാവരും അൺമ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പോവാം.
Can we see the new members?
Hello. Thank you all for joining.
പുതിയ മെമ്പേഴ്സിനെ കാണിക്കോ?
എല്ലാവരും കാണുന്നുണ്ട്. Thank you all. Okay. I can hear them. ഞാൻ അടുത്ത് ഫോട്ടോ എടുക്കാൻ പറ്റും. ഓക്കെ, ബൈ.